Hello, Serious Survivor here. And there's a very good chance that we're going to see more lockdowns coming before the end of this year. As we saw, the Delta variant is now charged with 83% of cases in the United States. A Texas hospital recorded its first case of the Lambda variant. This variant was first detected in Peru last August and made up 81% of the South American country's cases between April and June. Houston Methodist Hospital, which has 8 facilities in the state, confirmed its first case on Monday. The World Health Organization says the variant, which it calls a variant of interest, has now been found in 29 countries. And they go on to report that the Delta variant seems to be highly contagious and is sparking a new wave of cases throughout the United States and is the dominant strain. And what we have to face here with the administration talking about the mask mandate and actually implementing new restrictions, as we've seen from the administration and their spokesperson, Jen Psaki, this is something that we're very well going to see this winter. We can expect more lockdowns coming because we've seen it in the past. So now they're going to implement a harder type of lockdown, a more restricting type of lockdown. The lockdowns that we saw last year were pretty severe in a lot of places, put a lot of people out of work, a lot of people lost their jobs, people's mental health suffered. Suicide rates were through the roof, especially in teenage children, and this is really, really concerning. And with all that, it seems that we're going to be facing another round of lockdowns that will be even more restrictive than the first. And the push that we've seen in place for the jab with the incentives that have been offered, the monetary incentives, the lotteries they offered, and the other benefits they were offering to people to actually participate into this, leaves us to think what they will do on this next set of lockdowns. Now, nobody knows for sure because we haven't seen it yet, but it's very possible that these vaccine passports and digital IDs will be required for everything before the second wave of lockdowns is lifted. We're going to see some lockdowns that are really restrictive, and I believe that they're going to push now for a mandatory participation in this new system. They're going to push for mandatory jabs. They're going to push for people to have their digital IDs and their vaccine passports, which may be one and the same. And I sort of expect those to be one and the same because they're going to push this off as being convenient. But this is coming. We see it every day with the news articles. We see it every day with the words coming out of our so-called leaders' mouths. And we are going to be locked down again. And this time it's going to be much worse. I'm curious if the lockdown will only apply to some the way that it did this last time. And people will be allowed to, with no accountability. And this is really concerning because I think the first lockdowns are going to look like a walk in the park compared to what we're going to see next. And this is why it's very important to make sure you got your house in order. And when I say that, I just basically mean having the supplies we need. We saw the shortages that came out last time, and it began with toilet paper, which became a joke before too long. People, it's sort of a punchline to the whole 2020 at this point. But it should put us on notice. And what it should show us is that the things that a lot of people aren't expecting are going to be the things that we need the most, the basic necessities that we need to survive. So when we think about prepping and stockpiling, there's always a big push or a big focus on food, water, and that's obviously the two most important things. But there's so much else we need to live on a daily basis, at least to maintain the lifestyle that we're used to. Now, this second wave of lockdowns, small business will not be able to survive this. So if these lockdowns do occur, and I'm not saying they are because there's no definite way of saying yes or no on this, we can predict and say that they will, and it seems quite possible that we are headed in that direction. But if they do happen, small businesses will not survive this next round of lockdowns. And think about how that plays into the elite's hands. Because for so long, the buffer between the elite and us basically was the ability to choose small businesses over some of the larger corporations. That ability and that aspect of our financial sector is quickly dwindling. Once the small businesses are out of the way, then the only places you will have any opportunity to do business with, to get any services, any goods, any products, is from the largest corporations like Walmart and corporations such as that. So this second wave of lockdowns, should it happen this fall, this winter, we're going to see our economy take a turn that we think it's going down right now. It's going to fall off of a cliff at that point. And we're going to be suffering. Those who are not prepared are going to be suffering more than they ever realized. I predict that if we do see another one, we'll see more food lines. We'll see more rationing, and we might already get used to that term, rationing, and possibly even ration cards, because they're going to try to control who gets what. And I also expect their door-to-door operations will really pick up during this time frame. With another set of lockdowns, this is the perfect opportunity for them to go door to door, because everyone will be home and verifying who has had it and who does not. And those that don't, then there'll probably be an interesting conversation. And the question is, when we're all isolated in our homes, how can we stand together? And that is exactly what they're trying to do. They're trying to divide us, and they've done that. They're trying to separate us. They're trying to divide us along racial lines, political lines, class warfare. Now that they've created this division, they will isolate us once again in our homes. And now that the door-to-door has begun, then this is going to make it so much easier for them to deal with the people who do not fall into line. And this is important to recognize. It is happening. We are in this now. So I just wanted to talk a little bit about that. We got a lot coming our way this year. Remember, Mr. Biden promised this is going to be a cold, hard winter, or a dark winter, I think were his exact words. So make sure to have what you need, not just the food and the water, the medical supplies, extra medication if you can. Put your money back. Put your money back and hold on to what you can, because you're going to need it very soon. When the small businesses fall, then this nation will crumble right behind that. And the big corporations will come in and they will take over more than they already have. And at that point, we'll be left helpless in that type of environment. Well, thanks a lot for watching. God bless. And for now, Serious Survivor out.